Hello and welcome to Super Boothers. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Ismail.
Today we have Owen McCrink from Hula Photo Booth.
I think it's just Hula Booth.
Hula Booth?
Hula Booth. Hula is going to be a group of many products in the future. So Hula Booth at the moment, but Hula other things in the future.
So what is Hula?
We started as a photo booth company, hire company in Melbourne, Australia, and my background's always been software development, and being in the photo booth industry, I kind of thought, well, why not actually make some apps for the industry? And we kind of found a little niche where we could probably make an app that would be valuable for people.
Sure.
And take a different approach to some other apps out there.
So how does the app work?
So it's actually just an iPad photo booth app. So right now we're just doing the burst GIFs, boomerangs, that type of thing.
They're turning the lights down. So this is like last interview.
We will not leave until we're done.
No,
Wow.
this is the last
They can't
interview.
kick us out, man.
Last interview of PBX.
Wow, well, lucky last.
Yeah.
So we're taking a different approach. We don't have any cloud-based infrastructure in our app, so that means we can offer a one-time purchase. So it's a bit of a different approach, a bit compared to the other apps out there. It's kind of more...
That's really interesting because a lot of people specifically ask for one-time fees as opposed to paying monthly.
Exactly.
What went into your thought process of doing that?
Well, I kind of thought that is there a way to actually make it a one-time purchase? Obviously, if you're providing cloud services where you have to host all the images, provide the bandwidth, that can get expensive and ongoing costs and maintenance for that. So we thought, well, how can we do it without the cloud? And that's where we've come to use external cloud services for storage, such as Dropbox or OneDrive, and actually using your own email server.
Interesting. So I know some customers are concerned, like while some customers want the one-time fee, some people are concerned that the company won't support the product if it's a one-time fee.
Exactly.
So that's the double-edged sword.
I think Simple Booth kind of did that.
Yeah, they had their event edition, which has some major kind of limitations. I think they use that as like a lead gen to get into the
Sure,
Halo
the big
product.
one.
Yeah, but what we're doing is we've got the one-time fee for the Photo Booth app, but we're working on a couple of other products that will bring in us monthly fee. So Hula Booth, the app, is going to be kind of our lead gen to get people into the other products that we make, and we'll make a recurring revenue from.
So kind of like the app that you get in the App Store will work, but if you wanted to do like all sorts of crazy things and like bells and whistles, then there's an extra fee for it.
In the future, when we get those features in, there will be other pricing models around them.
But that's an important thing for people to understand is that the company will always have an incentive to support that product because that's where their leads are coming from.
Sure, absolutely.
The support will always be there.
Exactly.
One thing that really stood out to me, and we got a chance to meet when we were in Sydney for BoothCon, I think your guys' designs, like the design of your website, your branding, is beautiful. Is that something that you put together yourself? How'd you go about that?
I'm not really a creative person. It's a big... I guess I'm a
You
technical
could have fooled
person.
me.
It looks great, man. It looks great.
Thank you. I'll give compliments to my design agency. So I use a local design agency, and they're in outskirts of Melbourne, out in the country a little bit.
Isn't that where BoothCon will be? Kind of out there.
Yeah, a little
Full
bit
out there.
A little bit in the west side, a bit dodgy. But,
A little bit? Oh my god, I love it. You just sold me even more. I love dodgy.
But he does great work, and that's why I think the brand looks quite nice, and thank you. It's good to hear nice feedback.
Is his first time exhibiting here, I assume?
Yes. I was here last year just to check it out, but this is first time exhibiting, so we only launched on the App Store on Friday, so we're pretty fresh out there.
Really? So it's like super fresh.
So when you were at BoothCon, you weren't launched yet?
We were in beta at the time, so people were testing it out, but it was not on the App Store officially. So officially on the App Store now, and you can just jump on your iPad and download it.
So how much is the app itself?
So it's free to download. You can use lots of the features without paying, and then you can unlock the kind of the advanced features.
So what are some of the advanced features?
They're advanced in terms of our app, but they're kind of standard with what you'd want to run a business with. So overlays, so you can put images on your photos, so brand it or whatever. Design settings, so you can change the logo on the app, change the color scheme, that type of thing. Dropbox sync, so you save all your photos.
Dropbox is the most amazing thing because whenever like Dropbox was integrated with literally every photo booth software, it just makes your life so much easier because whenever you have to like deliver your images to your client, you can just send them the link. They're uploaded whenever they take the photo.
Exactly.
Like I remember back in the day whenever you had to like log on, export everything, put it onto a USB, put it in the mail. I mean, it was just a little bit much. Now you just send them a link.
And there's no double handling as well because it's already there. You don't have to download it to re-upload it to a gallery or something. You just really easy. Another advanced feature is email, so you can actually customize your own email server, so it comes from your email address.
Perfect. That's what I like.
Otherwise,
I like things that come from me. I don't like things that come from somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Like if I have to go and like I see like an AWS or Amazon AWS like redirect, I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
yeah, it can.
it ruins the experience
yeah.
for me, and I like to keep the fantasy alive and have it be my branding, not someone else's.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And that's what with some other apps out there and other products in general, they often don't allow you to actually use your own services and make it look like it comes from you. So yeah.
Now, did this start as something that you built for yourself, or did you build it from the get-go as a product that you wanted to develop for other people?
We have in our hire business, we don't really have that many gift booths going out. We are very kind of low volume in gift booths, and it was going to be a bit annoying to pay a monthly fee. So I thought, well, I'm going to build something for myself.
So you solved your own problem,
Yeah.
which a lot of people just so happen to have the same problem.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I thought I'll do it for myself, and then other people can enjoy it as well. And with my
That seems to be a
background-
common theme.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's a great thing about walking around here. Not just software developers, but a lot of companies here, like the people sitting across from us, they all start the same way, where they try to solve their own problem. They try to build something for themselves. Other people notice it, and they want it too, and then it grows into its own business.
Sure.
Exactly, yeah. And you walk around the stands, you see, talking to some of the guys, like especially the software vendors, like yourself, with CRM, you're feeling a need that people have in the industry.
No, it's the same thing with me, where I had the problem.
Yeah.
I tried the other solutions out there. They didn't work for me, so I built it for myself. And when people see it, they want to buy it. So
Yeah.
I think it's a common theme and common story with a lot of the entrepreneurs here.
That's the big thing, is that doing things that work for you first
Yes.
is super important. Brian Miller talked about it. Sydney from Hula Booth talked about it. I mean, we just fix things ourselves and then, figure out, hey, someone else might be able to use this as well.
So when you were working on developing this solution, now that you've been at Australia conference and now that you've been here, was there any difference for you in how you had to build a product for the different markets around the world? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being here has kind of been an eye-opener in what the US market needs. It's all SMS here. We're not really big SMS in Australia. We get emails, and that's generally really popular.
Whenever we were at BoothCon, we were texting from our personal Super Boothers photo booth, and someone was like, "What? You can text?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Yeah. So that's not as common in Australia. So that's something that we're actually working on right now to get it in the app. But another big one here is printing. Everyone still wants prints, it seems, from
Really?
I've talking to the.
and in Australia, they don't.
Well-
they moved away from prints.
We kind of just did the social sharing for our gift booths. It's just straight sharing onto social media or
Sure.
email. and
Facebook,
whatnot.
Instagram, Twitter.
That's an interesting thing that I guess
Tumblr.
people don't really think about is, and if you start talking to people in Europe, like I remember when I was here last year exhibiting for CRM, it's an eye-opening thing because you talk to people from Europe, and I realized that they don't really use credit cards in Europe. So
No,
they weren't
that's strange.
yeah.
That was the thing. Whenever I was in Australia, everybody uses Apple Pay, and I loved it.
So-
Oh my God!
Everyone took Apple Pay everywhere. It was amazing.
No, I was at a bar. Don't worry, which one? I was at a bar, and I went up and I was ordered my drink, and the guy hands over the little credit card machine, tapped my watch. He said, "Thank you so much." I walked off. It was the easiest transaction I've ever made.
We don't really do cash in Australia.
I don't think cash exists in Australia.
There are people really impressed with the confetti, Brian.
We have a lot of, so I have this confetti cannon, and everyone, I've been making kind of a ruckus with this thing.
You made a
So
mess.
I'm
You
going to
made a
blow it
mess.
off right now and scare someone. Hold on.
Is that the last one?
I just scared her.
Oh my God, Ron, you're embarrassing me.
Confetti! That was actually the best one. Look at that. It is confetti everywhere.
That is good.
All right, can we go back to the topic?
Hurry, take a picture. Hurry, take a picture.
Yeah.
So anyways,
We're
sorry,
live, Ryan.
We're a
Don't
little
forget.
distracted. I'm sorry. Everyone enjoys this stuff. So, no, I wish the U.S. really just got rid of cash.
It's
I
interesting-
love the Apple Pay.
It's interesting because Justin was on before, and he was talking about how Australia is 12 months behind. So he comes to the expo and he sees things here, and he knows that they'll come up in Australia.
yeah.
But they're ahead of us with the digital payments as opposed to
Yeah.
credit cards. So I wonder how that all works out. But that's just an interesting thing I've noticed.
See, I've never taken cash. I've never taken a check. I have entirely always been on credit card, everything digital. I have a digital business card. You sign your contract with me digitally. You can do it all from your phone. The less that you have to do, the better.
So Owen, is there anything else from your first time exhibiting that you like? I know my first time here, it was like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot of stuff from talking to people, and you go back with a lot of information. What's it been like for you as a first-time exhibitor?
I guess at least I'd been here last year, so I knew what to kind of expect in terms of how big it was, because the BoothCon is a much different scale in Australia, the expo. So that was, at least I was fully wide open coming here. But I'd say try not to stay out really late when you have to work the next day.
It's hard to do that in Vegas, though.
Exactly.
Like we were just talking about the same thing before, that we had all these goals of all these things we wanted to accomplish here, but there's a lot of distractions in Vegas. Lots of distractions. So we got
Like what?
We got a lot done. I'm not going to say what on the air.
Oh.
This is a family show.
Alrighty then.
Family show.
Owen is staying like
I'm
eerily
gonna
silent.
stay quiet.
Owen was giving out beer props.
He
Yes.
was. He still is. There's a stack of them on our table right here.
I still got like 100 left. I have to somehow get rid of.
I'll find some.
Find some.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No,
Ma'am.
Stop.
Ma'am.
So you've mentioned some things that you've learned. Is there anything that you like are going to go back and work on immediately?
Well, SMS is in the works. It's going to be done as soon as we can get it up there. We're still trying to figure out the pricing model, because it's more we have to provide some hosting for that.
Is that something that you'd want to build in yourself, or would you want to integrate with another texting?
Oh,
software?
we're using Twilio or something similar
Yeah.
like
Love
that. Yeah,
me some
which is
Twilio.
awesome.
I love anything Twilio, because with Twilio it integrates with everything else. So I like it when apps talk to each other.
Yeah.
And especially if, like, for example, my CRM system will pop into Twilio as well, so I can send text messages from there. And I love it when they get text messages from that same number.
Yeah.
And then whenever someone calls that number,
It's your number.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's for the benefit of having your own Twilio account. And also, based on the expo here, we're really going to prioritise getting some printing in there, so AirPrint or something similar, because it's a missing feature for the US market, so we've got to get it in there.
Well, that's the benefit of coming here. You get to learn from people that you don't normally talk to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that I always take away. Hopefully that's something that you can use to improve your product and make it even better.
Exactly. But it's just good meeting people that actually chat to them, figure out what they want, and just hopefully build a better product from it.
Owen, thank you so much for joining us. We are signing off from PBX.
No more popping.
Oh, I have one last one.
One last one.
Not
One
on the
last
podcast.
one.
Let's do a video.
Everyone, thank you so much for Amazing PBX 2018. We will see you next year at 2019 in South Point.
Thank you, Owen. I'm getting ready for the pop.
I'm a bit scared now.
Bye!
Thanks, guys.